Welcome to Naynayfin. I'm Nayfin, and I'm with Dan from A Up It's Dan for what is the last part of the Silent Hill Phasmo podcast. Now, I want to take a step back and just mention normally I will never ever run away from the ghost. We were kind of in a panic yesterday because we were running out of time. This is actually a new session. So we as I say, we're not going to run away from the ghost. We're just going to let it happen. So yesterday was kind of a fluke. This is the normal how it's going to go. I mean, we are kind of on the time limit at the moment, but we want to get the Silent Hill podcast over with. All future podcasts, whatever subject we talk about, no matter what, it's going to be as soon as we're dead. That's the end of that podcast. Game over. Finite. So, the reason why we're doing this is because it's our pilot of the podcast, and I wanted a good setup to really, drive home for YouTube, to be honest. So anyway, with that said, let's carry on with talking about Silent Hill. Last we were talking about the music. Let's just put a pin in it. The music is fantastic from honestly all games. I'd even say like the movies as well, though I can't remember any specific tracks except for the Dan. What was the name of that song?
I believe, Nathan, it was called Promise Reprieve. I can't quite remember how actual Promise goes, but it is the Reprieve version. It is the one that was the brainchild of our GCSE Drama's downfall, which is a powerful thing, music, when you think of it, isn't it? It's going to mean nothing.
We should talk about that first, shouldn't we, before we get on to the prime thing of PT, which will be the end of our Silent Hill segment. Shall we talk about the attic, Dan?
Let's get it out of the way. So, a bit of backstory first, for those who remember. The world of GCSE drama was the world of gold and riches for Nathan and I. We weren't the coolest people in school, but in GCSE drama, that was our domain. We were the cool kids in the drama club. Even the car agrees with us there, as you can probably hear.
Actually going to have to go turn that off. That's really annoying.
Go turn it off quickly. I'll fill in the backstory once you're gone.
Oh, but I can't record it.
You'll be there. Alright, go. No, I'll go.
No, it's right. I got it. I can't. Seriously. Nah, I'll keep it in.
The ghost is also written in our book, unbeknownst to us.
Are you serious?
Yeah, shit you not. We're actually doing quite well at Ghost Hunt here.
No, it hasn't.
Oh, it looks like it has from my angle.
No.
Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to it. So, in GCSE drama, I had a few people here and there, but we all came together. And why, it wasn't even, our core friendship group. It was, the guy who I was friends with in English, the guy Nathan was friends with in English, a few other people from our group. Just for argument's sake, we'll call the group E, Nathan, Luke, Jack, and Jake. Complete random names off the top of my head. Now, we named ourselves Team Hippo. Now, the reason we called ourselves Team Hippo, because every drama play we did, we always did comedy. Just comedy all the time. Even when the drama teacher was like, look, no comedy here whatsoever. It's got a serious docu-piece about the Holocaust. We'd be like, we'll see if we can fit in a little joke here and there. It was like the modern day Avengers.
Well, if you remember, me and James did that. It was meant to be a serious play about two spies, and it became a very practical comedy instead.
Exactly that. And what was the main phrase in every piece we did?
I would believe that is... Well, let's try and fit it into here. So I know exactly how. Dan, what do you think the ghost is at the moment?
Well,
based on what you...
It's quite a slow moving one. And it's coming for you. There you go, it's coming straight for us. That was a slow.
Get the heck out of me.
It's throwing things everywhere.
Oh, good time to take pills, by the way.
It does appear to be very territorial. So what we can deduce, it's slow, it's territorial, and it looked quite fat. Therefore, Nathan, I think it can only be a hippo.
I was hoping you'd say it would be a Goryo, and then I was going to go, that's no Goryo, that's my wife.
No, Nayfin! The joke was that's no hippo, that's my wife.
Yeah, that...
Change it!
Well,
it's like special history.
Yeah, I know, but that would fit in this. In any case, it was, yeah, usually a hippo would be... No, because we did change it up as well. Because remember how James B... Actually, no, that's a bad example because he would always go off script anyway. Not Boyd, the other one.
You've just faux named him in the video.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll edit that out. If I don't think names matter that much, though. Anyway.
All due respect to James Boyd, I don't think he's keeping up with what we're up to.
No, and James Boyd would love that. I think he'd be honoured, Jay, if we named him in a video.
Tag him.
I suppose Luke went off saying other things. So it was James himself who started the whole hippo thing, wasn't it?
I believe it was, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, the idea was somehow we'd fit hippo into the script, and we'd be like, "That's no hippo, that's my wife." And no, it did change sometimes. Though we would say other things and end up with it. That's no blah blah blah. That's my wife.
There'd still always be a hippo in it,
but
somewhere.
Usually there'd be a hippo somewhere. Yeah. So in light of that, we tried to change it up, steer away from comedy for once, and
did not go well.
It
was, and do you know why, Nayfin? Obviously, it's all related to the overarching podcast subject, but it was because we saw that fucking film just a few days before the GCSE coursework was due to be made.
What movie was it?
Remember this? It was Silent Hill!
It was... Well, no, because, I mean...
So basically, I'm not sure you remember fully. We were... the teacher gave us an old Shakespearean piece of picture. I don't think it was Shakespearean, it was of that era. It was of a large fat man giving a very apprehensive woman a key.
Yeah, I remember that.
However you like. You have to make a film with it, interpret it however you like. And at the time, we thought, right, we can fit a hippo joke in here somewhere. We can make this really good. Like the key to a zoo or something. I can't remember exactly what it was going to be. But right, we've got some form of script going, some form of outline going. We'll see you on Monday. During the weekend, we watched Silent Hill. And on the Monday, we go back and go, guys, we're not doing comedy anymore. But Team Hippo, for the last 2 years, all you've done is comedy. It's all you know. No, we're doing spooky stuff now.
If I remember,
I want it to be a thing.
Who was our teacher at the time?
Mr. Levy.
Was it Mr. Levy or was it Mr. Williams? Because...
Oh, no, Mr. Levy took over just during, when the GCSE...
You're right, yeah.
Drama,
that's right, because I remember the look on his face when we were doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so he was the reason that we actually moved away from comedy. He was like, right, Mr. Williams has told me that you've done a lot of comedy. I want to see something different. So he actually pushed it. It was only when we went home during the time and we did watch Silent Hill, but we also watched something else, some other movie we watched at around the time, but I can't remember. And that
I don't recall that at all.
We did watch something, and that was actually because the Silent Hill movie we were like, yeah, it's okay, we enjoyed it, but it was actually something else. I can't remember what it was that we watched though that made us go, hey, let's kind of do something like that. Like we kind of mixed the two, and we were also playing one of the Silent Hills at the time, so there was actually a lot of key factors that made us go, right, we should make this a horror.
All I remember is that we put that fucking piece of music in it.
We'll get to
constantly.
That. We'll get
all the time.
So we came up with a story using that key in mind that we'd have to basically a family moves into a house. It has a creepy attic where a key is the only thing that opens it, nothing else. This is very kind of what was it, House on Haunted Hill,
Haunted Hill House.
Yeah, because there was
I get that vibe from it,
but there was that, oops, I didn't mean to pick that There was that door that would only open up with one particular... Well, it wouldn't open up at all. None of the keys worked. But in our story, a key worked. Just this one magical
It was a literal key.
Yeah.
We completely saw past the metaphor. We're like, it could be a metaphorical key. Unlock your inner self. Yeah. No, the actual key to a house. To an attic in a house.
Yeah. There was no... We tried banging on it. We tried using like a Jimmy bar to like... Jimmy it open or anything. No, it was just like the story was the landlord gave us a set of keys, we moved in, and he literally said to us, don't use this key for the attic because it's...
Why would he? Yeah, this is what bugs me. This really annoys. I know it's our own creation.
Bear in mind we were all like 15, 16 at the time. Yeah,
doesn't matter. I'm annoyed at my 15-year-old self.
Dan, let's just remember that you stole a song on the previous part of the episode and gave it the title Penetrated.
I stole a lot of songs back then, and we'll get to that in a later episodes. But what annoyed me, but I don't know who was the driving force behind that. I remember at one point, me and you were like, this is fucking shit, we've hit a monster here. But I don't, because we relegated ourselves, didn't we? We went from like main cast people to like just extras, effectively.
No, we were main cast throughout the whole... No, you were main cast. I, not so much.
We heavily reduced our roles, though. No, heavily. I remember.
You were,
I was Luke's son.
No, you were either the father or the landlord. And I remember this because I specifically remember you saying, while we were acting this out in front of like the class to watch, I remember you saying, thank you, Mr. Curtis, and I face palmed because at the time Dan's character was Mr. Curtis, not the person he was talking to.
Mr. Curtis was the name of Jack. Oh, nearly thought Jack was my best friend in this play. I was Luke's son. Jack was the guy named Curtis, and I think James Boyd was the landlord. He was called Mr. Something Else, and I would have went, see you, Mr. Curtis, thinking, fuck, that's Jack's name. I remember your face. Being like,
no, you're right, I do remember, because, you were being friendly to the landlord. Yeah, no, you were the son, I remember that. Wow, it's funny the things you remember after talking about it after so long.
I don't know why I remember it so much. I remember the scene where we were like, right, we need to play Promise Reprieve,
We'll get to that in a second.
I'm excited to talk about it, Nayfin.
We'll get to that because that is the biggest part of this dumb play.
Right,
but can we just remember the first part of the play where for some reason Luke desperately needed his school jumper to make it more authentic, so he ran home, which was a good, 10 minutes away.
It was a while.
Well, maybe not that long.
Halfway through a school day. It was about a 15-minute walk, I would say.
Yeah. And he took a while as well. And for some reason, on the day of the play, he ran. He could have borrowed a school jumper. He could have went to reception and be like, I'm finding it cold. Can I borrow a school jumper, please?
Without anything.
Yeah. So, there was that. Anyway. So the story was, family moves into a house, they use a key up in the attic, there's nothing in the attic. Oh, I don't know why the landlord told us not to go in here. And then on the next evening, something weird happened, and Dan?
What was in the attic?
I don't remember.
I don't know what was in. After all, I don't remember what was meant to be
abstract horror.
I remember a weird scene. I remember a weird scene where Luke's like, right, I'll be... Because who was the ghost? There was a ghost in the attic, and I can't remember who played the ghost. I think it was just Luke again. I think Luke cast himself as the main character and the ghost.
I don't remember.
Because I remember this scene really well for some reason. I don't remember the context behind it, which is the part of it. But there's a scene where we didn't play Promise. We played another song, and I will give you all the points in the world if you can guess what the song was. But
I do not.
It was Luke in the attic. Strobe light. We had a strobe light for some reason.
Hang on.
Was playing.
Hang on.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Oh. Typical. The one time we're not actually playing yet, and we know exactly where the ghost is.
Yeah, I know. I thought that myself. That candle lights up. Anyway, so Luke was in the attic. We had strobe lighting going off. I don't know where we got the strobe light from, but I'm not. That's neither here nor there.
It was part of the school set stuff.
Okay, and then Luke picks up a gun and goes, "No, no, no!" and like holds it against himself. I'm like, why is a ghost doing this with a gun? What's the context behind it?
Why does this family
Why
does this family have a gun in the first place? I suppose it could have been
was
set
in
in
the
America.
attic.
Oh, was it?
I
can't remember that. I thought there was just a ghost there, yeah, and then we're about to die, I think, so this might have to be a second website, I'm not sure.
A ghost of Luke has come to haunt us.
And does the ghost have a gun, is what I want to know.
Does it have a gun? Also on the subject, it was a British household, because I remember... Oh, we're still alive. I remember Jack's character and I had a conversation which was inspired by the real-life England team selection in 2006.
Right.
His only line was, "I can't believe they picked Theo Walcott to be in the squad," and my other line was, "Neither can I."
I remember that. Oh my god. What the hell? Just shoehorned in.
Yeah, he really pushed through it. I don't know why. He was like, "We should make it more realistic." So I was like, oh, okay. So I was with you. I imagine it being like in a little American suburb or something like that. Like little cul-de-sac at the end of the street. But no, it was England, so it's probably just some sort of terraced house in like Romley or something.
Well, the main thing I remember about this play was the strobe light going off when the horror was happening. I think we're about to die, I'm not sure. Anyway, so the strobe light is going off, like shined at us on set, yeah. And at that time, we are playing Promise Reprise or Repris, how we pronounce it.
No, so you're wrong, Nayfin.
No,
there was one other song.
Was there?
We played Promise about 5 times. We thought, right.
No, that's right. We kept playing it whenever it started getting like close to the eerie part. Like, oh, what's gonna happen?
Yeah. So we played it the first time when like everything's all cheery in the house, and go, okay, this house is all yours. The fuck is that?
Oh, it's coming.
Okay.
Next part.
Well, to be continued. The Attic Part 2 will be with you in cinemas near you soon. Seeing them fall into the sofa. Anyway, you probably don't have an awful lot of time left, so I bet you're wondering, Dan, what other humorous plays did you have? And the answer to that is, I don't quite remember. Now I remember, of all people, Jack and I. Jack is the one person who eludes me on social media to this day. I don't know where he's gone. He could be dead for all I know. Mr. Williams, our Vin teacher, asked us, okay, you need to do an abstract play. By abstract, absurd, an absurd play. The whole point of absurdism is that it just makes no sense. You don't need to just make it completely random, but you need to script it. So that's an oxymoron right there, if you ask me. So I wrote this absolutely fantastic script. It was fucking phenomenal. It was so absurd. None of it made sense. You could throw the pages on the floor, gather them up completely randomly, and the play would still make sense. It's my proudest creation, even now. I don't remember anything about it. Anyway, be that as it may, Jack and I did the play, and it just made no sense whatsoever. It was absurdism down to a T. To the extent that Mr. Williams stopped the performance midway and went, right, no, I've had enough of this. You're making this up as you go along. I said, no, we're not. Read the script. It's here. And he read the script, and he went, oh, okay, fair enough. It is, in fact, a very good performance. Now, I remember nothing. Absolutely nothing about this script. I just remember, I think we was on a car and we drove to hell at one point, and that wasn't my brainchild. That was Jack's, just because he was obsessed with AC/DC. I personally don't like AC/DC, but I thought, fuck it. Highway to Hell is a good song to end with, and I think I just said something like, we're on the highway, and he goes, the highway to hell, and that was it. And another fun additional part of this two-man crew of absurdism, Jack Moat, I full named him. Jack had a list in which his R's were pronounced like his W's. It's like it's Jonathan Ross. So we're like, oh, it's the highway to Earth. Doesn't have an R in it. Hello, Dan Weed. How are you doing today? He would speak like that. And I, of course, have my list that makes it sound hard to say S's. that we were a weird little lispy duo, and I never considered that until now. And I think people thought that was part of the absurdism, but it wasn't. Just two people with a lisp, having a little film. I think we're about to die, so we'll catch you later.
Okay, so that was a nice little tangent. Yeah, good. Well done on that.
Thank you, I do try. It won't happen every time, but
well, like I say, whenever one of us dies, we're just going to continue on the podcast until the other one dies, and then it ends. Except for this episode, of course. So Dan, let's carry on while we've got some time. Also, it's raining and thunder again. Oh my god!
The ghost has already blown out our candle. We're on a limited time.
If it's an Oreo, an Oreo, what are they?
Onryo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the play at point.
So what was the okay. We remember where we are. Every time it started getting tense, it would play Promise Repris. When the shutter lights, whatever you call it, goes off, what music was playing?
Do you not remember?
I really don't. All I can remember is no. Well, Dan, how can you?
Disappointed.
No is in my head. Yeah, it's just pushed everything else out.
I'll give you a hint. It's not a Silent Hill song or piece of music.
Actually makes it more confusing.
Silent Hill piece of music. I will give you a secondary hint.
Go on then.
It is from the Final Fantasy franchise.
What a bunch of weebs we were. Oh, hang on. Was it from Final Fantasy 9?
No.
No? It'll be 7 then. It's either one of those two.
It's not 7.
Then I have no idea. No, it's gone.
Right. I'll set the scene. Luke is alone in the attic / off stage. He picks up the gun. Strobe lighting's going off. All you can hear is from Final Fantasy VIII. Save us.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yes. Yeah, it is all rushing back.
And I don't know where we pulled that from, because this was like 2006, and I distinctly did not play that game like 1999. So fuck knows where we had that. Well, it's my suggestion. I felt fuck it, we'll have that song instead. I think it was between that and the Shinra theme.
You can't.
We're like, no, that doesn't fit whatsoever.
You can't see me, but I'm major face palming right now. Oh my god! Yeah, just picture.
Well, that was the only other piece of music that we had in the play, and after that,
picture just some like 15, 16-year-old kid on stage with strobe lighting, putting a. What did we use as the gun prop? Was it just a toy gun, or what did we have?
I don't think we used anything. I think Luke just made a gun with his hand.
Didn't he make it out of cardboard or something?
I think he made. Maybe that's what was his jumper for? Why did he need his jumper so bad?
Don't remember. Yeah. Well, just picture someone, this kid, putting a fake gun up to their head with strobe lighting to. He was
sick. He was.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, the cringe has hit me hard.
I still like the song.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But like in the setting that we used, that was just
It's only because we were like, I can't remember. I think we used Promise about 4 or 5 times at that point. We're like, we need to break it up. We'll use one other song. I'll get straight back to Promise. I think the first instance we used it was probably the best, in which we had the house viewing. And then the landlord goes, okay, well, the paperwork's all signed. Here's the keys. I also like how he didn't have any clue how real estate worked back then. Just, we're going to buy a house. This will do. Here's the key. Don't go in the attic.
To be fair,
here's the key.
To be fair, that is an awful lot what it's like in TV shows. They
yeah,
they rush
true.
all that middlemen part out, yeah, because that's the boring part of the story. So in that
Oh,
sense, we did a good job.
it won't make the play good. Like, okay, we'll take the house. Okay, well, here's the paperwork you need to fill out, and
What
we need 3 months worth of
what was
proof of addresses
what
from
was
you.
the girl called who was really into drama?
Oh, Katie.
It was Katie. Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah,
sure. Take some pills, Dan. I couldn't
it was
remember.
a
I couldn't remember if her name was Kay or Katie. But yeah, all I remember was her confused face sitting in the audience, trying to work out where was point A and where was point B in our play.
like what happened. She asked me. She was like, "I'm quite disappointed with that." I was like, "Yeah, I know.
Oh my
I'm not
god,
gonna
yeah, she
sleep."
did come up to. I remember you because sorry if you ever just happened to watch this, Katie, but I remember Dan seething at you for weeks because you came up to it and just was
And
just
it was
like,
so. It was from such a good place as well, because like with the benefit of hindsight, she was such a fan of
yeah, no,
me in general.
she loved our productions. Yeah, so
But
if anything, yeah. She was right to come up to us and be like, yeah, maybe you should stick to comedy. She didn't actually say that. She was just she didn't know what the hell was going on with our attic play.
she's an understudy for Sheridan Smith now in a play.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm really proud of
She
her.
she
So.
made it. We didn't.
No, well, she stuck with it. To be fair, we didn't carry
Oh yeah,
on.
true.
So couldn't be more proud of
That's her
her. So
plan.
Katie, if you ever see this, I doubt it, but happy with how things are going with you. Keep it up.
Did you know? Did you know she invited me to live in London with her a few years after?
Did she? I kind of
Yeah, this
remember
was like
that, but
2 years after school. Can't remember, like, oh, who cares? You know, we'll get to that at another point. That's neither here nor there. I said no. Anyway.
I remember.
Anyway, back to the attic
Yeah.
after that tangent. We get the key. He says, okay, here's the key to the attic, but... I must warn you. Must never go into the attic. Here's the key to the attic. Well, fucking give us the key then!
Yeah.
Just don't even say anything. I have an attic in my house.
Just say like the attic is like being worked on, yeah, like don't go in there.
No, because
with,
this isn't
like,
even a rental. This is like buying the house.
I
You can't just go, okay,
guess,
it's being
yeah.
worked on. We just didn't know. We didn't know. I don't even remember. That's all I remember to play. I don't remember where it went from there.
I think Luke died, and then that was it. I don't. But the thing is, I don't remember him collapsing on the floor or anything. I remember him just standing there. I think honestly, after that, yeah, we turned the lights on, and then that was it. The end.
I remember just hearing like the confused single sort of like one or two people applauding, and just me thinking, why the fuck did we just not stick to a comedy?
If you've been watching for the past 10 minutes, yeah, and you forgot that this had, that this was a Silent Hill podcast, yeah, just to remind you, it was inspired by Silent Hill, the movie, Silent Hill, the video games, especially the Promise Reprise song, and like whatever. I remember us watching another film at the time, yeah, but I can't remember for the life of me what it is. And apparently Final Fantasy VIII, at least the horror parts of it.
Do you remember the downgrade of it though? We originally wanted to make it a movie, like an actual movie, shot on my little camcorder.
We did want to do that, we were gonna
shoot it.
Weren't we also gonna use Luke's? It wasn't. No, someone had a garage, didn't they? No, it was Luke. We were gonna use his garage originally.
I don't even remember what we. All I remembered saying is that we'll film it on the industrial estate. And funnily enough, now this is amazing, absolutely amazing.
We were gonna use
timing.
that as well, yeah.
No, because yeah, Luke. I remember Luke really fought tooth and nail to have this scene in. That was never made. Where we were in the industrial state, and in the industrial state, it is quite creepy anyway, because there's just a singular phone box in the middle of like a massive quarry, which makes you think, what the fuck's going on there? And we were somehow going to orchestrate this phone box to ring. Luke would answer the phone and go, "Hello." Of course, what's on the other line? Static. Why would it not be? Luke then puts the phone down. And do you remember what happens next, Nayfin?
I do not. Oh no. Was it just gonna be random blood dripping from the top?
You're close. You're so close that you're in pain.
I can't remember it exactly. Go ahead.
His hand was bleeding.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I
He
remember
was gonna
being
look
like,
down at his hand and be like,
and I remember being like, Luke was fucking awful.
you know, I reckon if we managed to actually film this and stick it on YouTube, I reckon it would have been one of those videos, yeah, that people go, oh, remember this back in the day? Like, you know, it's clearly like so bad that it's good, sort of thing. I reckon that would have been the case.
Anyone who watches this is just gonna be like, what the fuck are these people talking about?
It was last pill time. It was
my last pill.
You've already taken it.
Yeah, I took it when the other candle went out. Like wet boy.
Really? What? I've just taken one.
Oh, the phone's going off again.
I guess I just forgot to take one of the pills at one point. Whoops.
Oh, there you go. It all worked out in the end.
I guess I'm surviving.
I don't think there's anything more to go over yet. I don't remember how it ended. I don't remember. I think James Boyd may have been the other ghost. Ghost? Were you a ghost?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I was just about to say, I do not remember your role in that for the life of me. I remember...
It was shit! Sorry,
I remember...
That just reminded me of the Mr. Levy video that we did. Where...
It was shit. That's still on YouTube.
That doesn't have any, like, edgy humor in it, does it?
Not to the best of my knowledge, no.
I suppose in a way it's kind of a bit transphobic. Well, it is, because Luke turns out being a man, and Mr. Levy goes, "You're a man, oh my god!" And
no, but that's unconsenting. That's why he was so upset about it. He had no issue.
Yeah.
Just came along and said it.
Disclaimer: we're not transphobic. It came out.
Hey, fun. The 4 episodes in, you can't be giving the disclaimers. We're not transphobic.
No.
Cancelled. Published it.
Okay. So back then, some of the humor was a lot more edgy. It was kind of very Little Britain.
No, he's using that defense. It was okay to say back then.
No, I'm not using. No, I'm saying it wasn't.
We were young and misguided.
Young and misguided. It was not good humor. And that's why we've deleted a lot of videos since then. Because though it wasn't inherently bad, it was one of the things that I'm just like, I don't want that to be the basis of my humor.
I feel that's fair enough.
Yeah.
You know who lives rent-free in my head?
What?
I feel quite bad. Looking back, how long ago was this now? Nearly 20 years ago. Yeah, we were 17. We visited you in Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And then for our first night, instead of just settling down and watching a movie, we're like, hey, let's prank call people.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's another thing I couldn't do these days because it's just
obviously, that's the benefit of hindsight. Thing is, though, it was in quite good humor. Like, I remember I made one guy laugh by being like, "Oh, sorry, it's just over 40 feeling naughty," and he loved that shit. Absolutely loved it. I think one person at the Pizza Hut you made laugh, so it was all well and good. But I remember,
it went like overly terrible. It was just dumb stuff.
Oh, this one I feel awful for. Luke called someone, and it was taxi people, like, "Oh, hello, Bournemouth taxis." And it was like, "Oh, hey, can I have a taxi, please?" And she was like, "Yeah, where to?" It's like, "Look, now that I've got you on the line, I'm sorry, all the suicide hotlines are closed down."
Oh my god, let's stop there. I can't think of it. No. Again, when and this is no I'm not giving anyone a free pass, but when you were young, your humor is stupid. Your brain is not fully developed, and you do cringe and edgy things that like are just not funny and not tasteful. Thankfully,
that's her now calling back.
Excuse me, I'm the one who worked at Pizza Hut in the year of I can't remember when that was.
2007, I believe it was.
Yeah, it would have been because we were 17. So.
Oh no, wait, 2008, but February 2008.
Yeah, so we hadn't turned 18 yet. So, that is for another story, though. The time that we all went to Bournemouth to a haunted house.
A lot of these podcasts are Stick around for this episode.
Yeah. So just and I'm aware that people are going to be watching this video and be like, oh, these two people worth watching? Yeah, I don't know. They're probably a pair of what I'm going with. No, I'm all about bettering ourselves. Yeah, our humor has changed a lot, and we often think yeah, they're all just like, okay, let's we're just gonna cut them out. They don't
stay away from this person.
There goes our 2 million sponsorship, of which we don't have.
I don't think I'd ever do sponsors anyway. It depends how much money they offer, though.
It depends on what it is. I wouldn't be like, let's do a sponsorship with like, what's a common mobile video game?
Battle Raid.
Battle Raid. Yeah, I wouldn't be like, I'll sponsor me. I definitely like your game. No.
I think what annoys me about podcast sponsors in particular is that, so I listen to a few podcasts, I won't say who, but with YouTube sponsors, they just go like, okay, here's a sponsorship coming up. What podcast ones do, they do it very sneakily. We don't actually realize you're listening to a sponsorship until like into the sponsor. So we're like, oh, Nayfin, I've had quite a rough day today. Oh, really, Dan? How so? Like, well, I sat down at home and I just thought, God, you know what I really, really need right now? A really delicious milkshake that you can make without powder and you could just heat up straight from the box, and it's at the low price. Try beautiful milkshake here today. I'm like, hold on, that's a fucking sponsorship. Get out of there.
Are we sponsored right now? And that was like word for word.
No,
that was good.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I'm flexing my skills as a sponsor. If I were to do a sponsor, I'd be great at it. I'd be absolutely fantastic.
I'm sure a lot of people who do videos on sponsorships, they like record it over and over again until it's perfect.
I just don't feel. I don't feel like anything enough to promote it like that. Even in Phasmophobia, but like, hey, we're doing a new Ghost episode. You want to sponsor it? I'd be like, nah. I'll play it, but I won't sponsor it.
We've gone on a massive tangent.
Because we ran out of things to say about the attic.
Yeah, we're the attic. Yeah, so that's that. So we've only got one more thing to talk about that is actually related to Silent Hill, and that is
looping back round.
Yeah, and that is PT, which what did it stand for? Something teaser.
Playable teaser.
Playable teaser, or yeah.
I think it's been 10 years to the day that we streamed that, you know. Not to the day, actually. I don't fucking know, actually.
It's definitely been over 10 days because, like, a lot of... I know one, Game Grumps recently did a 10... Did I say 10 days? 10 years. Because I know Game Grumps recently released a second video on it, the 10 years later video, where Aaron...
I'm really annoyed.
Repeats jokes without knowing he's repeating them. It was a fantastic video.
See, I'm annoyed because this was back in the day when like PS4 had its first like little streaming thing, but it still had the teething pains.
Yeah.
Our fresh footage of you and I going through the game for the first ever time was buggy as fuck. I don't think it's still around either, for that matter.
What, the video?
Yeah.
I have no idea, in all honesty.
No.
I remember we were very excited about the game, and we played it for a good while, and we just couldn't complete it because the phone part, where you're supposed to say, like, is it numbers in the right sequence or something?
Yeah, who the fuck managed to bloody figure that out without a guide?
I know. But yeah, there was a lot that went into that, and like we just couldn't. The thing is, every time we played it, we always found something new, and it was probably the most exciting thing that Kojima has done horror-wise. And this is why I always say that Kojima is a horror writer, because all of his Metal Gear Solid games all have a hint of horror in them at some point. Like Metal Gear Solid 3 had the vampire sequence where was it Metal Gear Solid 3? I think so, where you had I can't remember it. It's been so long. You basically had a bit of like fruit that was old. I think it was like supposed to be some kind of vampire fruit. I think it was called in game. You eat that, you spin around on something, you fall asleep, and you end up playing a completely different game where it's like kind of like Doom, and you're fighting vampires, and yeah, it's basically a nightmare that Snake is having. I'm probably completely wrong on that sequence of events. We're dead, so
we're on that note of being dead. No, I think we're okay.
No, we're good. It was a ghost event.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So like, I can't remember it, but yeah, there was that. Metal Gear Solid 1 had again some Metal Gear spoilers here. That's the last of our candle, by the way. Metal Gear Solid 1 had the bit where you're in the elevator, you're talking to Otacon, and Otacon's like, wow, the weight of that elevator is like more heavy than it should be. And then I'm playing this game at 3 a.m. in the morning. His face like blows up on the screen. Snake, watch out! There's men in there with you! There were people with active camouflage on, all trying to kill you at this point inside the elevator. Scariest part of that game for me. Kojima knows how to write horror, and it's a shame that, you know, after PT, Konami were just like, yeah, we don't want you anymore, we don't care about what it is you're doing. Either write Metal Gear Solid 6 or that's it. And apparently that was it. So
I've never actually played a Metal Gear Solid game before.
Something for us to do, I think, Dan. The first three anyway, because they are long games. There's a lot of cutscenes in them. I think we're about to die here. So
well, who's gonna be the first to go though? Probably Nayfin again, I suspect.
Why is it always me? I think we're done, by the way.
Again. Well, it's always him. Maybe at some point Nathan and I should probably move our seating arrangement. I think I'm safe here in this cozy little corner. It is what it is, I suppose. Anyway, on to the subject of Metal Gear Solid. No, you're correct. Never played a single one. Kojima, in a way, he's like the Lin-Manuel Miranda of the gaming franchise. By what I mean, he does seem he knows what he likes, he sticks with it. Now, Lin-Manuel Miranda got some fantastic songs. He was, of course, behind the likes of Encanto. I think he was behind the likes of... fuck, was he behind Moana or not? Yeah, he must have been. I think he was. He did Hamilton. But anyway, after a while, it's all, you listen to one Lin-Manuel Miranda song, you've listened to it more. And I feel, outside looking in with Kojima, it's all very much, oh look, this guy's creepy, this guy's creepy. Here's Dow Dixon from some piss. Ah, that's me. Farewell.
So, welcome back. This is our little outro we're giving. That is kind of the end of the podcast initially. All future podcasts, as soon as both of us die, that's it. We stop talking, and that's the end of the video. But as I say, this is the outro for the pilot. So we just wanted to say thank you for watching and goodbye, pretty much. And
farewell, everybody.
I had a lot more to say about PT, but I think we've talked about Silent Hill as much as we can, and I'm sure we could have gone on for hours about it.
I mean, we're gonna be both playing the games in future streams anyway. We can go more into it from there as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So thank you everybody who watched this, along with the other parts. Yeah, that's it. Goodbye.
Thank you for having me, Nathan. Thank you, viewers. Yes. Don't forget to do the whole comment, do the subscribe, give it a little like. We'll catch you later on.
Yeah, farewell. Thank you for joining me, Dan. That's Dan from Airpits Dan, and you've been watching Nayfin on Naynayfin, and this has been the Phasmo Podcast. Until the next haunting.
Ta-ta!